Welcome to the RoboCop review. This is the first film I remember seeing back in 1987, pirate video at my friend's house, and certainly wasn't supposed to be watching it, but his parents didn't give a crap what you watched or how old you were or how much it may mess you up potentially down the line. They just let him watch whatever. Went round there once, he was about 7, his little brother was 4. They're sitting there in the living room alone watching The Shining. I was like, I'm going home now, bye-bye. Well, I remember I was about 6 at the time, so I'm getting out of there. I see that red rum business. I'm not sticking around. But back in the 80s, there wasn't all this CG blood flying around in films. It just doesn't affect you the way it did back in the days in the 80s with the blood packs and the meat packs and stuff that they get in RoboCop. Definitely, earns a place in the must-have section for me. Growing up in the 80s, RoboCop was a big thing. Just like Predator and Terminator, Aliens. RoboCop was one of the big dogs. Just like Ed 209, who I won't be getting, because he's just too big. I don't have the space, but he is awesome. I don't like what I'm seeing about the cracked dome as well. Let's see if we can just zoom in here on that mouthpiece. And this is like the 89 Batman kind of situation, where Hot Toys had such a small section of human face to work with. But the small part that they did have, they captured Peter Weller's likeness absolutely 100%. It's really impressively done. Like I say, considering it's literally just his mouth and I guess the side of his cheeks there, but very little to work with, and it just screams Peter Weller. So much like the 89 Batman, very impressive considering what they had to work with. Little side profile action. I hope that's coming through okay. It looks very dark on the screen, but it might be okay for you guys. We'll just pan up and down him a little bit. Now his arms here are die-cast metal. This is plastic. This is plastic. This bit here, that feels, yep, that's definitely plastic, and that's die-cast. This is plastic. This is die-cast. That is die-cast. The feet. So half and half. It's about half and half. He is really heavy as it is, so maybe it would have been too heavy. Me, personally, I'd prefer it was all die-cast. Just go for it. If you're going to do something, do it. Make a die-cast RoboCop. What the hell. But then again, the price would have been maybe insane. Who knows? I'm happy. He's not the right color, as I did say in the unboxing video. That's a bit of a shame, but it's definitely, if you put it in the right lighting situation, display-wise, you can make him look the right color. Maybe with a bit of blue light or something. Okay, so I'll just switch out all the mouth plates and show you the different looks. And maybe just turn the head around a little bit each time just to give you some different views. But here is the one you've seen already. It's just the straight sort of normal sort of expression. Give him a cheeky little turn. Now if this was the Entebbe version, I could press a button and even with the movie accurate sounds it would just go whatever the hell that noise is. I do like that about the Entebbe one, even though it is tacky and they should not have done it. They should have just focused on making the figure as good as possible, leave out all the voice stuff and the movement. It was cool, and I have to be honest, every time I see in someone's video the Entebbe RoboCop head turn, a little part of me kind of giggles and laughs and loves it. But I think they should leave the voice stuff. Like this one has a speaker underneath here and he says a bunch of different phrases from the film or whatever, and it is nice, but just not for high-end collectibles. It just, I don't think has any place. I think most people felt that in their gut when they first heard that they were going to be doing that. That's just that kind of feeling like, nah, not necessary. But yeah, that's that expression. Let's change it up. This is the angry face. You can use this with the battle damaged helmet that you get. You could use it with a cool pose where he's all twisted and contorting when he's was it Directive 4 or Directive 7? I can't remember. When he goes to get Dick Jones and he can't, he's not allowed, and he's struggling, he's fighting to arrest him, but he can't. He's making this face. Awesome, awesome, awesome mouth plate. And here is that slightly comical sort of kissy face, but it's definitely from the scene when he visits his house and he gets upset when he remembers, or he gets some little flashbacks, some memories of his family and the real estate sort of thing that's just playing on a loop in his house. He just gets mad, makes this face, and then punches the TV screen. Heard some people say he makes this face when he's firing his gun. That's true, I think he does, and maybe when he's fighting Ed 209 as well. Gosh, that looks funny. That's what that looks like. Let's get you some madness. Now, this ever so slightly gormless expression is kind of reminding me when you get close up of his eye after Arturo 9 has created that little hole in his visor. In fact, in a minute we'll switch around the helmets and we'll get a look, because that expression there, that just kind of, when you see a flash of his eye and he's kind of looking over to this direction, this reminds me of that. So we'll go ahead and switch that up. And also in the previous little sections where I showed you the mouth plates, if I didn't actually push this down far enough, you'll have to forgive me, because I'm working in the dark here, people. It's really dark. Okay, so here is the battle damaged helmet with the eyes showing. Let's zoom in, get you some detail. Really get in there, bring the madness, and let you see how that eye is looking. Pretty creepy. The battle damage on that helmet is pretty sick too. Yep, and that's how that's looking. Really cool detail. And one of his really cool accessories is his, what do you call it? I'm not sure. It's the accessing the police database of every like criminal or crime that's been logged and unsolved, I guess, or has just happened. But he uses this very long and sharp key, I guess, to stick it into their computers. They all seem to have this kind of hole that he can stick this into very conveniently. And yeah, he also uses it to stab Clarence Bodiger in the neck. Oh, but he may or may not die from that wound. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen RoboCop by now. If you haven't seen RoboCop by now, then I guess you really young, because yeah, most people done seen RoboCop by now. But anyway, that's what that looks like. It's cool that you get it. It's plastic and slightly soft, but still quite sharp. So mind your eyes. Be warned. RoboCop says mind your eyes. Here is RoboCop's gun. This is the plastic one, the lighter one that you're going to want him to hold in his hand. If you get him to hold the other one they give you, which is die cast, it's quite heavy. I don't think you're going to have much luck with him holding it. This one, the plastic one, does have some kind of, let's call it, some white sections on it. You see there by the trigger, there's like a little white bit, some other little white sort of screws holding it together or whatever. So there is that. The die-cast gun is all black and doesn't have those little highlights. You can see the bullet in there when it cocks back, the usual Hot Toys stuff. Very cool that you get one plastic and one die-cast gun. RoboCop's signature awesome gun. You get this cool OCP magnet for removing his chest plate and the one on the back, I think, to put the batteries in. So that's a little magnet there. Could come in handy for other Hot Toys die-cast figures, I guess, down the line. And it is nice that it has the OCP on there. It's a nice touch. Just zoom in on his chest plate again. Give you another little brief look at that, because it is very impressively done. All the pipes and tubing and stuff going on in there. Very, very, very nice. Quick little look at the battle damage helmet again. That eyepiece in there. Very impressive. Very nicely done. Okay. Now I'll tell you, if there's one thing I don't like about this figure, it's the fact that they didn't just give you a hand, a sculpted hand, stuck in the pose so it could hold this gun. As someone who likes to take pictures of the figures and pose them quite a bit, and interact with them, take advantage of the posability and all that stuff, it's just a nightmare. Trying to get him to, well, you can get him to hold it easy enough, but if you move him, or if you adjust the arm position, you're going to have to do it all over again every single time. Messing with each individual little finger. They do all move. Let me just see if I can get you some madness going on. Yep, I'm getting amongst it. Bringing you the close-up HD megapixel action. That's why you came here, right? Because you want the good stuff. Getting amongst it for you. Getting it real nasty. Anyway, it pisses me off that they didn't just give you a hand for him to hold that gun. But it's a pretty small gripe considering how much of a beast he is. battle damage chest plate on, battle damage helmet being rocked, and Wilbury's got those super clean arms. And like I've heard many reviewers say, and totally agree, it's just a bit of a strange look. I would love to display him like this sometimes, but you do, especially because the arms are die cast and the chest is plastic, there is a difference. You do start to see it more the longer you have him. Those die cast arms there are just gorgeous. They really look amazing. There's a great kind of purple blue thing happening in certain recesses in the arm there. And it's on the plastic sections as well. It's just not as, obviously it's not going to be as impressive as die cast, but yeah, but you can't deny, look at the work, look at this. That is really, really, really nice. And the sort of oil dripping out of his bullet wounds. Look at the way it's coming down there, the chest. First time I'm seeing it like this, just like you. I've never actually seen it up close like this before. In fact, I haven't really ever paid that much attention to this chest piece. I've always had him on display clean. Let me see if I can zoom in there. Yeah, look at that. Focus. Well, it's very impressive, I can tell you that much. It looks awesome. But yeah, it's just a bit of a strange one because the arms are so pristine and so are the legs. Very, very, very clean looking. And yeah, it's just not a look that I tend to rock very often. But it's a shame because it does look fantastic. Who knows, I might do it in the future. Look at that eye. Madness. Here he is, side profile, being truly rocked in awesome fashion. Oil dripping from his wounds. Bluey, purpley, chromy, petrol puddly madness happening in the recesses of his arm there. Flakes of little dust starting to gather on his torso as the exposure to the elements takes its toll. I don't half talk a lot of rubbish. I'd give him an 8 out of 10 because he's not perfect. He's an amazing figure. I do think it is a must-have for any Robocop fan. If you can get it, you should get it. But he is the wrong colour. His hand does not hold the gun very well, and his base scratches very easily, and it's not the most stable surface for him to stand on. So you're pretty much stuck with the straight-up museum pose with him on this base. But it shouldn't be too hard for people to come up with their own base for him. But you will need something with a good bit of hold to it because he is a weighty piece. He is a heavy figure. That's die-cast arms and legs pretty much. Well, half. You know, this bit, like I said before, you know which bits are die-cast now. But yeah, 8 out of 10, not bad. Robocop, must have. Absolute classic film. He is very cool. Hope you enjoyed it. Brought you the madness once more.